you doing, guys? This is Hybridsteel. Welcome to Hydroneer 2.0, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the only real bit of logic I, in fairness, only truly understand. Because everything else I do is normally manual, like resetting a counter involves hitting this button. Setting up a smelter, I'll show you that in another video. That's not logic, that's just connecting them all together and pulling a trigger. That's all that is. But today we're going to be taking a look at the instant repair kit. All good. All right. So what we're gonna be doing is this is the simple repair kit. Now I did speak to Promethean about this, and there is a sort of weird. It's a really weird wangly problem, and it doesn't seem to work 100%. But it's basically what you do is you have to build your builds sort of backwards. And if not, it causes a bit of a weird problem. So when I say you build backward, you start with the throwers themselves, and then you loop it back around, build the circuit, and then put this on last. Don't touch this until you have everything else set up. So this circuit, you literally need a reader, a number panel. The only reason why I put a panel on there is so I know the durability of that filter, and that's literally why that's there, and a flip logic cable, or a flip logic hook, sorry. Now, you don't have to have this all teed up and like move to all the others. You can literally just have this in one, which means that this one circuit will just repair this one filter. If you want all your filters to have different circuits, literally just copy this and then just chuck it on. It's all good. Myself personally, I prefer it if this gets to 0, this circuit is actually going to repair all the filters that I would have in a line. And that's just the way that I prefer things. But if you want a separate independent circuit for each one of your auto repairs, then basically change this to a corner and just loop it in and all is good. Alright? Weirdly, if you don't build this backwards, then this I don't know, as said, I was talking to Promethean about this, and it seemed to me that when we put this down first and we looped it in, the logic, the signal that's inside the logic cable just stayed at 1. Which stopped the rest of the build working. So what you need is your spanner thrower, a corner or a T-pipe, depending on which way you go, in a corner. And then you need your flip logic. Then you just need to cable it in and then hit the reader, and you're all good. The reason why you need the reader, you need to read the filter. This needs to be aimed at the filter. This needs to be pointed at the pipe that has a filter on it. You don't really have to have the filter underneath this. As you can see, this is actually not pointed at the filter at all. And then what I did is, if I was going to run like a line of 5, I would have 5 of these hooked up, a bit like this, where I'd have 5 of them aimed, and then I'd just read off of 1. Alright? And that's all good. Now, that is the simple one. When this reaches 0, this will read it as like as a 0, then it sends a 1 signal through, and then hits this, and then it throws the spanner, and all is well. Alright? But, I'll say it again. Build the circuit backwards. Put your spanner thrower down first and do all this, then done. Okay, what I'll do is I will leave this on the screen right now. You can screenshot that, go back to the video, pause it at that point, and it's all good. Alright, now you've got a reference of what you need to do. This one is a little bit more complicated, but again, I can explain this because it's for simple people like me. Alright, I'm not having to go everybody else, just myself. So what we have here is we have an A signal and a B signal equals this. So what we have is we have our reader that's reading the filter. Okay? So the reader's reading the filter, and this is its readout at 77. Alright? The reason why this number's not going down is because I stopped the water flow. So if I just move this, you'll start to see this go down. So this reader is reading this filter. Okay? And then what we've got is we've got our digital display now down to 75. So this is slowly losing durability. Oh no. So this signal B is 75 at the moment. This signal at the moment is 0. And that's all well and good. If you want this to stop at 0 and just send an auto repair signal through all this, then just keep it as 0, be happy, and Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. Now if I type in, let's go to like 72. Or 73, there we go, 73. So what's going to happen is when this signal reaches 73 from the A to B side of things, all of this would have triggered, but I didn't put spanners in them. So quickly, just quick, how you load a spanner thrower You take your spanner bag and put it on top, and then drop it, and it will come in. These can hold up to 20 spanners at a time. Each tool bag is 5 spanners. It's 220 quid, so it's not too bad. There you go. What I'll do is I'll let you screenshot this now. All good? Fantastic. And basically what happens is that you can wire this up to every single one of your spanner throwers, and what should happen, what we'll do is we'll get this down to 98, and you can see. And there you go. It hits 98, all the filters are now repaired, and we're all fine and dandy. So that's just how I do things. Me honestly, I'd probably have this down to like 10, so my filters never break. And by the time that this filter gets down to 10, this one's probably surfing around sort of 50, maybe 60, because the last filter always decreases slower than the rest of the build. Most of the time you see a lot of wear and tear in like filters 1 and 2, which isn't too bad, but apart from that, it's yeah, this is how I do things. If you want this on a separate circuit or a separate system, then you take this build and wire it into every single one of these. And the way that I've done this is that you can do this fairly simple. Alright, there we go. Streamlined. So we've got our keypad here. We're putting our signal into this side. That's reading here, and then everything's basically looped round and looped over the top. Now, let me just make sure that you can still fit this into a spanner thrower. So I'm holding down the action button, so I've got it out in further, and now we've put our spinners in, so we're all good. So yeah, that's how you would load this, or you take the cable off the top and then just load it in manually. That's fine. So that's how you would basically make this into one line, so you're able to set this up so every single one can read its own amount. Alright, that's it. But yeah, me personally, I prefer to have all of mine just repairing, just so I don't have to really worry about it. That's just one of the ways that I do it. At the end of the day, the game, you can set this up however you like. If you find a build that you really enjoy, use it. Be happy. But yeah, this is basically all I really understand about logic. Everything else that I do when it comes to logic cables is things like this, where I've got all of these turned on, like turned off at the same time. I literally pull that lever and they all turn on. That's my imagination when it comes to logic. I'm not very good with logic, which is why I enlisted the help of Promethean, because I'm just a dunce. Simple. Don't forget, if you do want to have like a bog standard simple cable setup, this one is as simple as it gets, with just one logic flip, and you just have this little cable. If you want it a little bit more complicated and you want it to have to be set to a certain amount, this is the one for you, and it's all good. So thank you very much for kicking by. This has been Hybridsteel. I'll see you all in another video, live stream, or whatever else I do on this channel. Until then, thank you very much for kicking by. Peace out, have fun, enjoy everything you guys do. A boom! Fist bump to you.